Yo, what's good YouTube? Today we got Justin Delhon, who just came off a top 32 at YCS Seattle. What was your record and what'd you play?
So I finished 8-1-1 after Swiss. I played Zodiacs with like very little monsters in it, and it's a bunch of traps. It's literally just a trap deck. In all my previous videos, you'll probably see I say I hate traps. The reason I played a bunch of traps in this deck is because every card seems to be a one-card combo. So like one card, set 4 traps. It's so hard to break for any deck. So, and that's exactly what happened the entire day. Like traps were just beating everyone. So
let's get into it, man.
So we got 3 Terror Top and a Talking Tomborg, and then the 3 Rats, and then where my list is different than most is I only play 2 of this and 1 of this. Essentially, any hand that has a rat, I don't want to open this. Any hand that has a rat, I don't really want to open this. If you try to play around Ghost Ogre, this card requires a second special summon. The other thing is, the draw card with this isn't as good as the Foolish of the Zodiac combo. And the reason that is because in my deck I play so many traps that I should be opening 2 to 3 traps every hand. So this would essentially discard to draw me another trap, but it could also discard to draw me another rat, a Whiptail, things I don't really want to draw, as opposed to this just getting a card out of my deck I don't want to draw that's going to help me combo 2 turns, 3 turns later. So that's why I didn't really like playing more than 1 of this card. And then this card's a brick in your opening hand when you have any combo, so I just wanted to search it, put it back with Emerald, search it, put it back with combo, and do it over and over again. And then I played 2 Scythes, because I played the Artifacts, and no Moraltech, because Moraltech literally does nothing. 2 Max C's were my only hand traps. We found Ghost Ogres really hard to use. Like, anytime they have 2 plays, you can't really Ghost Ogre. You basically turn them off for making Emerald, but if they normaled Rat, then they already set combo, then the Emerald isn't that necessary, so I just didn't want to play Ghost Ogre. Okay. 3 Tanky, because I'm just trying to open combo set traps, and then 3 of this, Broken card, which has a cool effect that I always forgot but remembered in the right time to put underneath. This was one of the best cards in my deck. I shouldn't say best card. I built my deck to play around my body as a shield for the mirrors. So the only blowout card I played was actually Raigeki that destroyed and Dryden. So obviously with Dryden, you can't really do much about it. You're going to use the effect and Raigeki. So the way I would do things is instead of Dark Hole, which I sided, I would be using Chalice, because I can use Chalice as a trap when I set it on when I go first, and I can use it going second to get deal with Dryden. But the other thing it does is it actually deals with Infernoid cards when my body's a shield doesn't. If they're going to blow out your back row, you can chain the Chalice, get rid of stuff. So this card was really, really good, and the damage step in the mirror match is like insane. They'll equip the Whiptail to try and banish something you have, and then you damage step Chalice and get rid of their guy, because the Whiptail no longer gives it any boost or the banish effect. Yes. Play 2 of this card. All weekend long I was saying I want to play 1 because I hate drawing multiples, and then 3 different times I Emerald back Norden to resolve a second one. So obviously this card is very good, and I was just wrong, and I'm glad I played 2. And then 2 Twin Twisters. I didn't want to play 3, I never want to see 2. It's nice to know it's in your deck. It's just a decent card going second, and I figured I should play it. 3, oh, and it also triggers, what's it called? Scythe, in a bad situation. 3 Barrier, obviously. 3 Sanctum. This card's really good for both matchups I was worried about, which was the Mirror match and then Infernoid. Because Infernoid, you can literally flip it and bring out Lancia, right? And Lancia times 2 or times 3, and then this times 3 gives you 6 Lancias. So that was essentially the idea behind it. Every time this card got destroyed, it was insane. One time on the bubble, a guy had Totem Bird, and he normal summoned and overlaid, and then I flipped this up, and he thought about it, then he had to Totem Bird negate it, and then it died, and it triggered to pop his XYZ, and the Totem Bird just sat there, so I just killed him. So like, it's really hard to deal with this card in particular. 3 strikes and a warning. Like I said, I'm just trying to play all the best traps and out-trap them. And then the combo, obviously, and then here are the 2 tech cards, I guess, for me. First was Starlight Road. I drew it once on day 1 and didn't resolve it, but I won the game. So I guess I can say the entire time I drew it day 1, it didn't do anything. But then on day 2, I resolved it game 1 on the first match, and then I resolved it game 1 of the second match, and both times it won me the game. So I have to give credit where credit is due. This card literally won me the match. It got rid of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, and it got rid of Dark Hole. So it's like, It's an insane card. And multiple times my opponent torrentialed me, and I could have had this, and it would have done. Like, there were times where I just didn't have it, and it would have resolved.
Yeah.
And then the best trap of the weekend that I did side it out whenever they saw it, but when they didn't see it, this card blew out 2 opponents for me, and it wasn't even close. I played against an ABC guy, and he had 5 guys, and I barriered, and I had 2 more back rows, and I barriered calling XYZs. So he didn't want to fusion off the field and not get any value out of his guys, so he just had 5 guys and nothing engraved, and I did this. Storming, all 5 went to hand. His B triggered into the graveyard, and he added a card, but he had literally 6 ABC cards, 1 gadget, 4 ABCs in his hand, and there's nothing he could do to get them to the grave before I could have a turn. And then in the mirror match on the bubble, game 1, I opened this with Sanctum, with Starlight Road, and Chalice. So this was, and I was going second. So this was my board. These 3 cards with Chalice, and then I can't remember what the last card was because it wasn't relevant, but, and I opened Barrage. He opened Totem Bird, Emerald, Trident, set 1, pass. So I set 5 cards and passed. He goes normal summon Whiptail, and this is like game 1 of the bubble. So if I lose this match, I'm out. He goes normal summon Whiptail, I'm like, that's fine. He goes attack, I go this. He goes bird negate, I go this. He loses his board. Next turn I go in and his back row's a bluff. He flips it up on the next turn after I make my board, and it's interrupted Kaiju Slumber. I flipped this and literally won the game right there, and then I won game 3 going first. So the traps did help me when I was going second because of this card. This card, no one has outs to it, and it plays around my body as a shield. It plays around Kieran. So that's the reason we wanted to play it. It literally just doesn't destroy, so there's nothing that negates it.
Okay.
Extra deck, it's pretty standard, I think. So we have 2 Trident, 2 Broadbull, 2 Tiger Mortar, and 1 of this guy. This guy's the worst one because he doesn't put anything underneath. He really just doesn't have an effect. It's just to summon Rat. So I played 1 of him, and then every time I made Emerald, or every time I had combo, I would just put it back before I put this back because I had a second copy of this. So it was like having 2 anyway, and you never needed the second one. Invoker, Totem Bird, double Emerald, Gaga Samurai. This card was what Noah told me to put in last minute, Noah Green. Shout out to him for that. This card's insane. He told me about it, and then I played 5 decks that are the, what's it called, Grass is Greener deck.
Yeah.
So I used this on them a lot, and it came up a whole bunch of times. And I used it against ABC. So he tagged out his Buster and had no back row because I twin twisted. I normal summoned Viper, overlaid the Trident, attacked his defense mode Buster, banished it, instant fusion, brought back Guy, overlaid into Rhapsody, and banished the other 2 Bs. So he literally couldn't play for the rest of the game.
Did the equip effect ever come up?
Yeah, I equipped it to Trident a lot. One cool play that Denny Yu was telling me about that never came up for me is you go Gaga Samurai, and then this, and then you banish stuff and equip the Samurai and attack twice for 31. So it's 31, right? 19 and 12? Yeah, 31 times 62. So it's like a way to kill them. And then Norden and Stardust Dragon. I really liked putting back Stardust Dragon with Emerald when I didn't have a Starlight Road set, because like people would like think that you do, and then they kind of play into you having real traps. So that was kind of a cool thing I did. One game, this actually happened where I put back this, and Talkin' Tom board and drew a card, and I put them on figure out which of those cards I actually have.
Yeah.
And so that was like kind of a cool interaction. Side deck, this was for when I went second in the mirror and any Paleozoics. It didn't work out the way I wanted, so I probably wouldn't side it again, so this was just not good enough. It was testing really well, and then it didn't happen. This is when I went second against Infernoids. I don't like the Kaiju engine, so... Oh, James, did you lose? Oh, sorry, man. Shout out to the richest Yu-Gi-Oh player I know. So this card was for Infernoid and stuff. It was good. It worked out. It was fine. The Lancias, they really helped a lot. The 3rd Twin Twister. The 2 Dark Holes, only when I went second. Chalice was essentially for going first, and I keep it in going second, but that was the thing. These cards, I never drew it once. Apparently it's very good, but I never drew it, so I can't honestly tell you. And then this was obviously the nuts when you play against the Infernoid deck. You put them on better, beat you with their monsters. That's about it.
Any notable rounds or shoutouts, man?
Pardon me?
Notable rounds or shoutouts?
Shoutouts, well, so I never give shoutouts to these guys, so I'm supposed to this time. Gordon, Sean, and Seville. And I guess Justin Tam, even though he's not really there. Sean, I'm sorry, you were right. Starlight Road is broken. I told him before the event, because he wasn't able to come, there's no way I'm playing like card like Starlight Road. But I also didn't think I was going to be playing 15 traps. It just kind of happened. And so the deck did what it was supposed to do. I'm very happy with the results, except for losing in top cut, but that's the norm for me. And yeah, shout outs to PPG, obviously. Machado, love you, bro. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, well,